Hi, this is Brian Tellen here, and I'm here with All-Pro defensive end from the Philadelphia Eagles, Jason Babin. Jason, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, man. It's my off day. Get a chance to be dad, so I can't complain.
Oh, that's good. The Eagles, the Eagles had a bye week this week, and it seems like they've been busy, and I'm sure you were busy. How did you spend your bye week?
I had to. I went down to my ranch in Texas, the cattle ranch that I got, and all the cows were having babies. So I went to check on the how everything was going down there, and get a little warm weather.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice. Get down to the Babin Ranch for a little bit. How are the deer down there? Are they getting big for hunting season?
Yeah, they're getting close. We're a little behind as far as the deer going to rut, just because of the climate. It's a little longer for it to get cool down in Texas.
Oh yeah, yeah. All right, so let's get into football. I mean, I wanted to give you a chance here. There's been a lot of press coverage on the Juan Castillo to Todd Bowles switch, and I saw some of the press are kind of hounding you to make some statements and things like that. And you said yesterday you just want to be professional, and I'll editorialize it for a minute, and you correct me if I'm wrong. But it seems like football is a business, and these things, while everybody wants to seem to make them personal, aren't really personal. It's just players, coaches. I mean, I never met the guy, but Juan seemed like a hell of a nice guy and worked very, very hard and things. And I don't really know Coach Bowles other than what I read. But would you like to comment at all on what the press and some of your Twitter
Well,
followers and stuff?
I guess they got mad at me because they were trying to almost not pit you people against Juan, but they were asking questions with the statement involved and wanted something negative about Juan. But and I guess I'm the kind of person that I'm never going to talk bad about someone um, that I worked with that gave 100% every day and worked his butt off. Obviously we all know why he was fired because the head coach didn't think he got the job done. So there isn't too much to say about that, especially them wanting to talk negatively about him, in specifics. So I guess I got kind of frustrated with their question, their line of questioning.
Well, sure. I think they're looking for sound bites, and if you don't give them one, maybe they want to hound you for another one. But yeah, I mean, what can you say negative about Juan Castillo other than maybe Coach Reed didn't think he got the job done, but the guy put in a lot of work, and he certainly was loyal to the Eagles organization and the players for sure.
Yeah, so that's told them. That's all I'm going to say about it. They weren't happy with it.
Exactly, exactly.
So,
Well,
so then
go
yeah,
ahead. Go ahead. They
yeah,
yeah,
but
they live on that sound bite, so
yeah, and Todd Bowles is. I have since the changes, man. I've never spent any time with him, but I've obviously made a point now to find out a little about him, what he's about, and he's put himself out there to us players now that he's in charge, what he's about. And you can't help but be excited what he's going to bring, to our defense and really, to our team.
sure, sure. And then Coach Bowles' background is certainly led him to this position, and he spent a little bit of time as a head coach, interim head coach in Miami. So it seems like he's ready to step up into this position, and hopefully, I know you don't want to give away any secrets before the Atlanta game, but hopefully, whatever changes he is making are going to work out well.
Yeah, I think we can speak more freely about him after the game. But
Right.
our defense is our defense. You can't put a defense in a bye week. So it's the same. It's going to be the same defense, but the small nuances, in calls that he's going to make at strategic times, I think definitely it'd be a difference maker for our defense and for our team.
Sure, sure. Well, you do have Atlanta coming up this week. They are 6-0, but I want to point out that they barely beat the Panthers, they barely beat the Raiders, and they barely beat the Redskins. So three of their six games were very close to teams that you would figure a 6-0 team is going to run over. And pointing out that Coach Reed is 13-0 after the bye week, although he's never faced an undefeated team after a bye week. So, what are your thoughts on the upcoming game with Atlanta?
We're definitely excited. Anytime we get the opportunity to go out there and play on Sunday against a good team, it's what we look forward to. It's why we practice hard and put the time in.
And the number 7 jersey should be wild in the stands. You would think.
Yeah, it's always interesting. When you play a Atlanta team, I know. Did we played them last year, right?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, we played them
You
last
did.
year
Yep.
there in Atlanta, and it was interesting, because he's got a huge fan base still there.
Yep. So with Atlanta coming up, you plan to. I mean, I guess it's a little too early, but maybe after the game we can talk about any of the plans that have changed to get to that quarterback and get some sacks in, and hopefully we can beat Atlanta this week.
Well, I think what Todd conveyed to the D line, because he knows that we've been taking a lot of heat, and we've been throwing our good stuff, but he just said, listen, he's like, what we're going to do is going to help you guys out. It's going to make the quarterback hold the ball, and that's I know what you guys want. That's going to be the difference maker. If the quarterback doesn't have the ball, it's kind of hard to sack him. So he's got plans to do some things, which really don't involve the D-line anyways. To help force the quarterback hold the ball, which is always what I really wanted. That's what I
Yeah,
asked for Christmas.
exactly. So I saw there's a lot of changes that have been announced in the last 24 or 48 hours, and I know some of them in the offensive line, so probably not much you want to comment on those. But I saw obviously they signed a center and released one, and they King Dunlap's earned his starting spot back. The other thing I noticed in this morning's releases was that Mike Patterson is back working out with the Eagles, and I know he's probably a long way from actually being game ready, but it's good to see Mike back. Certainly it was a surprise of what happened to him, and it was a surprise that it seemed like it might cut his career short. It's good to see him back working out again.
I tell you what, having him out there Monday, if anything, was just I know he was excited. I know he felt good. He was trying to contain the smile, but it was a morale boost for everybody out there. Not just the guys on D line, but the whole team. We couldn't imagine. None of us could imagine what what he's had to go through.
Exactly, exactly. It came to a surprise, I'm sure, to him, and something like that comes along, and you have to think about your career being threatened by an injury, and or not even an injury, a medical problem in this case.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy circumstance all around.
Yeah. So I wanted to point out there was an article in ESPN this morning, and basically they were their quote was the Eagles are overrated, and I want to point out there's still 5 division games left, and I wanted to ask if I know the Eagles have struggled, but you're still 3-3. You're still second place in the NFC East. Do you feel that ESPN calling you overrated already on the 6th game of the season is a fair assessment?
Well, I think when you look at our team and you think of the potential and the possibilities, that's why I think people are so upset. That's why people are saying certain things, such as being overrated, and that's why the fans and the media here have been so critical because we have so much potential, and I think it, if anything, just frustrates them. Frustration, maybe turns to a little bit of anger. But if we were a bad team, they probably wouldn't be saying as much or publicizing it much. But the bottom line is we have to figure out a way to win games. And that's obviously Coach says it's from, players, coaches, everybody.
Sure, and those of us that remember the Eagles from the 70s and 80s and a little bit into the 90s, and sure can remember what an Eagles bad team looked like. And this one, at least we have some hope that, the playoffs, and not only hope, but expectations that the playoffs are going to come to Philadelphia, or Philadelphia is going to go to them. But, last year, you look at the Giants, and the Giants pretty well snuck into the playoffs by a single win at, I believe, 9-7, and went all the way to win the Super Bowl. So I think there's still and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think there's still plenty of time for the Eagles to fix whatever's going on and win some games. And even with a tough schedule coming up, I think, what do you think? Do you think, there's still plenty of time? I think that assessment is maybe early anyway.
Yeah, it's early, but I guess the good and the bad part of our situation is the manner in which we've lost games. It's been because of things we've done as a team. And that's all facets of the football: offense, special teams, and defense. So I think people look at that as well. Like, you guys are doing it yourselves, and
Yeah, yeah,
if we can clean that up, that'll help our cause tremendously.
great. Well, Jason, thanks you for your time. I appreciate the time that you've given us this for today, and especially for the entire season so far. And we look forward to talking to you again after the Atlanta game and getting your perspective on the win down there, or
All
the win
right,
against Atlanta.
you
And
got it.
I guess we'll talk to you next week. Thanks a lot, Jason.
No, I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, that was Jason Babin, All-Pro defensive end for